Hey, good morning, or good afternoon. It's now noontime. Happy Mother's Day. If there's actually any mothers watching, but MLB DFS pre-lock live. I'm sold today. Be cool here. So this might be a quick one as we go around. We say that, and then next thing you know, we're pushing. But welcome everybody. It's a Sunday, full slate today, which is cool. Got some weather. We'll go over. First of all, though, yourfielderschoice.com. $35 a month the first 6 months. Can't beat that price. All sports are included, especially our small sports, which we are crushing on. That's Aussie rules football, Korean baseball, which these guys cash every night. WNBA is starting Friday, the 14th. Walt Waddell will be covering that. You all know him from college basketball. He'll be on my show here, hopefully Friday night, to do a preview of that opening slate. Maybe we'll do like a tag team MLB, WNBA, something like that. But we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Also, our merch store is now open, I believe, which we have some awesome merchandise. Actually, I just saw we have a YFC Pro Shop. So any of you members, brand name apparel, accessories, 15% off, launch promo. And current premium members receive a one-time 25% off discount code. So if you haven't got your YFC merch, check it out. It's awesome. So you'll see it in our Discord. It's in the general room. I see the ad in the premium room. So check this stuff out. It's cool. Actually, I'm wearing a hat today, so I like this hat. So let's get right into MLB. I guess let's do weather first before we do Vegas. And we already have one rain out. The Indians and Reds are done, so you can cross that off your list. The other game that's hairy is the Minnesota-Detroit game. When I woke up this morning, I was planning on using maybe Kenta Maeda against Detroit, but that looks like that's going to be a wash. Everything I'm seeing here says it's going to be at least a 3+ hour delay. Even if they do play, it's going to be very risky. They're both off tomorrow. So it's not like, they're playing a West Coast team each other, same division. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just end up playing tomorrow. But I wouldn't be playing any of these guys in cash. Minnesota, Detroit, I probably wouldn't be playing any of the guys in any of my lineups. We got enough games today, enough value other spots. We don't have to go around and start messing with Minnesota and Detroit. All right, so that's it. Well, that isn't it for what Pittsburgh, Chicago, Wrigley, winds blowing in, really good pitching weather, which kind of annoys me because now I got to start thinking about possibly using Kyle Hendricks maybe as a pitching choice in cash. Pittsburgh doesn't hit as it is. 40-degree temps, 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing in, and Hendricks is coming off a good game against the Dodgers after getting blown up most of these other starts this year. I think that's it. Mets game, it may turn wet later on, so I don't think there's too many problems. The Yankee game, probably same thing. Rain coming in later on. It's going to start dry. So, yeah, that's it. St. Louis, rain's going to be gone by first pitch. Okay, so that's it for weather. Looking at Vegas, our top implied runs today for this. We're only going to talk about the main slate, which ends at the last game, I guess, is at 2 p.m. So looking at top implies, we've got the Yankees and Houston both with 5 runs. Then the Red Sox 4.9, Rangers 4.6. And then after that, everybody else is around 4.3, 4.2. That includes Orioles, Mets, Nats, Jays, White Sox, and so on. Okay, let's get into pitching. So right now, first of all, it's Jacob DeGrom. It's a DeGrom game. I know there's been some talk. There's some worries about DeGrom and I think what's his lat, some kind of issue on his side. The Mets are not going to be marching out Jacob DeGrom today if he's something wrong with him. He's the franchise. He's the top pitcher. Just play him. Don't think about it. If you're playing FanDuel, lock him in. I mean, if I'm playing GPPs in FanDuel, 20 lineups, I would be running 18 of them with DeGrom, maybe 17. Cash gains 100% because if he goes out and gets you 50, 60 points and you don't have him, you're done. And that's what he's been pretty much doing. He's averaging 40 points a game on DK, and on FanDuel, it's an absurd 61.6 points on FanDuel. So you know what you're getting with him. His ERA is 0.41, 0.47 whip. He's only giving up 4 hits per 9, striking out 15.2 per 9. Don't overthink it. Use DeGrom. So our problem is going to be second pitcher. Who are we going to use? So I think it's down to 3 guys who I'm looking at. I'm looking at Giolito, who's coming off actually started out the season on fire. Then he went to that Red Sox game, that Patriots State game. He started at 11 o'clock in the morning, got bombed. Didn't do great to start after that. But now he actually had a decent game his last start. So he's kind of back into consideration. We know what we're getting with Giolito. We know we're getting a stud. So he's in play. He's at 9.5. Or we can look at Sandy Alcantara, who actually that's where I'm leaning at the moment. I mean, it's close between him and Giolito, maybe because of the pricing. Alcantara's 9.4, Giolito's 9.5. I didn't realize it was a $100 difference. So that's how close they are. To me, Alcantara's got the better matchup. He's got Milwaukee, a team that strikes out constantly, one of the least hitting teams in the major leagues. They're ranked 4th right now, 4th versus strikeout rates. So it's pretty much a coin flip between Alcantara and Giolito. Or you can go down to Kyle Hendricks, who's at 6'9". You're saving $2,500. I mean, we know what Hendricks. We're not going to get a lot of strikeouts. Usually he goes deep into games. And he's got Pittsburgh, a weak hitting team, wind blowing in. So he wasn't even part of the conversation this morning, but you do got to bring him up now because of that wind and that price. I'm curious to see the cheat sheet has been updated. Devin will update it one more time before lock. Right now, actually, Hendricks is pulling the second highest. Of course, we got DeGrom's only looking at 51.7%. FanDuel, he's only 37%. So as obviously people are worried about the injury, this is actually even better if you're going to use DeGrom. If he's only being run 37% of FanDuel, you run him out to 100% of your lineups. So you got Hendricks looking at 27%, Giolito 25%, Alcantara, who I kind of like, is only sitting at 14%. I think Alcantara's right up there with those 3. Adam Wainwright, I guess too. I do see some places some people are talking about using Wainwright. I'm not high on him, but I guess he's in a decent spot. Also, Nick Pivetta. I've had some people asking about Pivetta. I mean, he's been great so far this year. He's 4-0, got a 3.23 ERA. He's playing the Orioles, but it's a hitter's park. There's no reason to think he's not going to keep playing. Baltimore doesn't score much. Red Sox are heavy favorites. Good chance Pivetta does get his win, but I kind of think he's a little bit pricey though to pay for to take a chance on Pavetta. We saw what happened to Garrett Richards last night too. We're lucky to get what we got out of him. So what is Pavetta's 9.6? Also, Pavetta is the same price as Giolito and Alcantara. So to me, I'd rank him third behind those three. But just know he may be a little bit popular also. GVPs, I like Marquez. I think Marquez is a good spot. Colorado, I think I like Dan Dunning a lot, and he's only 5.2. He'd probably be my top GPP play actually. He definitely has the talent. The problem with Dunning is they don't like to stretch him out too deep into games. Maybe as the season goes longer, he may go a little bit deeper, but you're probably going to get 5 innings out of Dane Dunning. I think that's pretty much, that's pretty much it. And once again, my thing with Alcantara is they're going against Milwaukee. He's been awesome this year. He's gone at least six in every one of his starts, but one. And he's not giving up any home runs. He's not walking people, and the Brewers strike out a ton. So that's my spiel on Alcantara. Giolito, though, at the end of the day, is probably the better pitcher. But the problem is Kansas City's a pesky hitting team, though, too. So I don't know. They're both in good spots. It's almost a coin flip. I don't want to be pulling anybody one way or another. They're both in good spots. Giolito, Alcantara. All right, so go around the bats. Once again, if anybody's got any questions, just throw them out there in the room. As we go around position by position. Catcher today, anybody looking at ownership? Probably not. So right now, of course, Gary Sanchez. I mean, if I don't see anybody over 20%, I'm not really worried about ownership. Sanchez is looking at 18%. I don't personally play Gary Sanchez in cash. Yeah, every now and then he's going to hit one out. He's hitting fifth today, actually in a good spot against Joe Ross, but it's a negative platoon. To me, GPP play, but of course, people are going to play him, and he may get your home run every now and then. To me, he just strikes out too much, and I'm a Yankee fan. I know everything about the Yankees. I don't play Gary Sanchez. I'm actually what I'm looking at catcher today is if I'm not going to pay up, my top play is also out. I like Contreras, but now with the wind blowing in so much, I probably will be fading Contreras also. I had Mitch Garver. Garver's back, but now we got the rain issues. So I'm looking at Kevin Plawecki for Boston. He's only 2.8 going against Dean Kramer. It's righty on righty. It's a hitter's park. Kramer's not that great of a pitcher, and you can get Kevin Plawecki for 2.8. And the thing about Plawecki, his last 3 games he's played, he's got a hit in every game. He's got hits in 3 straight. Last game, he had 2 hits. I think he had a double. He had a double RBI, run scored, 2 walks. So Kevin Plawecki is actually my favorite play today. Any new lineups out? I haven't seen any other value catchers really popping, unless you guys see one that I'm missing. Grayson Griner, no, that's a rain game. So Sandy Leone at 2.8. I've used Leone before. He's got the positive split against Brett Anderson. I guess you can look at Sandy Leone. I still would rather use Plawecki though. I'm not going against DeGrom. It's probably all I'm seeing right now. Yachty's back. Actually, Yachty had a good game coming back. Yachty's 3.8, so he'd probably be a decent mid-level play. And Elias Diaz for Colorado is actually getting a start now. So he's only 2.2 against Wainwright. And he's got 2 games ago, he's 2 for 5. Last game 0 for 3. So I guess if you're really down and need a punt, I guess you can use Diaz at 2.2, $600 less than Plawecki. If you need that spot, is it hitter you really want? I guess you go on Diaz. I'm still on Plawecki. I think as long as I have the money, I think he's a good spot. All right, anybody on the chat have any questions about catching? Yeah, Jansen's firing. Is he going to get a hit in 4 straight? I doubt it. Blue Jays lineup isn't out yet, and I doubt Jansen plays today because he caught last night, right? Yeah, but actually their catchers. Well, what the other kid is Kirk. I think he's on the IL, so maybe Jansen actually does play. So we're waiting on that Blue Jay lineup, and Jansen's still only 2.4. He can hit Greinke. Greinke is not the pitcher used to be. I don't like setting Greinke up, but Jansen has spot 2.4. So we'll see what if he actually comes out and plays. But my favorite spot is gonna be Clement Pelican's. That's my favorite punt today. But actually, by far. Um, First base. We want to look at anybody projected ownership. Nobody's jumping out there beside Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez is actually leading off today for Boston. 3-3 probably is going to be the popular play. I would probably use Gonzalez either first base or second base. Down to hit Grandal or Perez. If I had a choice, I would be using Grandal. The problem is I'm not going against Giolito. If I'm, just probably GBPs, maybe Perez, but Grandal is actually in a better spot as long as he's playing today. Is there, and then their lineup is out. As I go, Nicky's batting second, but definitely it would be Grandal. It would be Grandal and Cash. Gotta watch Mike Minor though too. Mike Minor can be a tricky pitcher also, but Grandal is a switch hitter. He's got definitely the positive side there. At fifth, I would take Grandal over Salvi today. So back to first base, Marlon Gonzalez is your popular play. He's also your value. If I'm punting it, if Rowdy Tellez makes the lineup today, I might end up with Rowdy Tellez again. I don't mind Tellez at all. At 2-4, that could give me some big bats in the outfield. Josh Bell's going to be popular for the Washington. Mike Ford's going to be up. Is Mike Ford's getting a start today for the Yankees? He's going to be popular. If I have the money, I'm just going to go with the best right now. The best hit, Vlad is probably hitting the best. You may see Goldie catching some ownership today against Marquez, because he actually hits Marquez really well. If you look at Gold, he's 12 for 29, 4 homers off Marquez. But just remember, some of those birds are going to be from Coors games, but 3 for 5 yesterday, had a home run. Goldie's hot right now. Vlad right now, one of the hottest players in the major leagues. Got 321, 7 home runs, highest ceiling out of all those guys. But I don't think you want to spend up at first base. Say today to me is a spend down day. So I'm looking at either Marwin, Mike Ford. I'd lead Marwin over Mike Ford. Ford's got to start hitting yet. And a guy like Rowdy, who's got the positive splits today, way down as a punt. So at the end of the day, I'd probably say Marwin's your top play here. You can also use Marwin in a second base also, if you want to. If you want to get, now that's a cheap spot to get that Red Sox stack today, because Kramer is not pitching well. Red Sox are on fire right now. They're clicking on all cylinders. So Marlon's got a really good chance getting on base. You got Verdugo behind him, who I really like. JD behind him, and then Bogarts, who's really hitting the ball. So I would get Marlon in the lineup somewhere, either first base or second base. Pete Alonso is a good spot for GPPs. He's always in play. I feel like I'm missing somebody else, but I don't think so. So Vlad, to me, Vlad's your pay up. If not, go down to like even a Josh Bell, Mike Ford, or Marwin. All right, second base. Top play, pay up is going to be Jose Altuve, who's actually having a decent season right now. He's averaging 10 points, 10 DK points a game, which is actually the most out of all second basemen right now. And just looking at ISOs and WOBAs, nobody jumps out at second base today. So I'm probably not going to pay up. If you had the money, I would go Altuve. I like Nicky Solak. He's definitely crushing lefties this year. 360 average, 3 home runs. So Solak's going to play against Justice Sheffield, who to me is kind of a gas can. Solak's got the positive platoon. He's righty. Sheffield's a lefty. Jeff McNeil is leading off today against this kid Smith for Arizona. He's definitely a hitter. McNeil's kind of starting to turn around today. McNeil's one of the higher projected guys. Or you got Marlon Gonzalez, who just talked about at first base. Adam Frazier, who's down below 4K. He's leading off, but we got that's in the win game in Wrigley. But Frazier's not the guy. You don't have to worry about wind. He could get on and steal a couple bases. Plus, he hits Hendricks, 11 for 23 lifetime. So he's almost hitting 500 off Hendricks with 2 home runs. Good spot for Frazier. Or I'm going to go down to Nicky Madrigal, who's back batting second again. Usually when I see Madrigal batting second for Chicago, I play him because anytime he's in that spot, he seems to do well. Batting behind Timmy Anderson, in front of Moncada, who's in a good spot. He's got the platoon. Minor's the lefty. And Madrigal's been hitting. He had 2 hits last night. So he's had hits now in 6 of his last 7 games. So I mean, Madrigal's actually, and he was a good prospect, and he's actually starting to hit this year. He kind of started out slow last year. He's got a lot of potential. I like Nicky Madrigal. Look at the cheat sheet. Ownership is going to show us Marwin as a top. Marcus Semien is catching a little bit, but once again, there's nobody over 20%. To me, Toronto guys are more of a GPP plays, of a decent stack because they're going to be low owned. So if you're not playing Marwin at first, you can get him at second. If not, I'm looking at Nicky Madrigal again, maybe even Solak, Jeff McNeil. This Nick Solak is really he's not getting a fanfare he should be getting. He's hitting 289 on a year, but most of his damage is coming against left-handed pitching, which he's got today. He's 360 with 3 homers against nice left-handed pitching. He's had a really good matchup today against Sheffield. So if I had the money, 47 Solak is $400 more than McNeil. If not, go all the way down to one of these cheaper plays, like a Marwin or Nicky Madrigal. Astros lineup is out. So we got Alvarez cleanup, Robel Garcia. Okay, Robel Garcia batting 7th against Nate Pearson. And Pearson's nothing to worry about. So I guess Garcia turns into a punt play also at 2K. And the problem with Garcia is not a big hitter. More of a fielder. He hasn't had a hit in his last 10 at-bats. But once again, I guess a good spot is Nate Pearson's nothing to worry about. So I guess Robel Garcia is a punt play also. All right, so go around third base. You want to look at ownership right now, projected ownership. We do have somebody over 20% on DK. It's Alex Bregman, who's crushing right now. He's at 21%. On FanDuel, we got 3 guys, Bregman, Devers, and DJ. All 3 of those guys are around the same at 20%. My favorite today is going to be at third base. I think you either got to play Devers or Bregman. Both of them on fire. Both in good spots. Problem is Bregman is $400 cheaper. So if you need the money, 7 hits in his last 4 games. He's even cheaper, I think, on FanDuel. He's only 3.7. No, actually, he's $200 more than Devers on FanDuel at 3.7. Devers, though, 8 hits in his last 9. He's got a season slash right now, 288, 375, 579, 559, 7 homers, 2 steals. The hitter's park today against Cremden. Both in really good spots. To me, it's almost a coin flip. DK, maybe I'd lean Bregman if it's $400 more, but that's it. You want to go value? Starlin Castro actually, a lot of people don't realize Castro's now got hits in 7 straight games. And he's still under 4K. Batting 5th against German. So Starlin Castro's in a decent spot also. My sneaky play is Brian Anderson today. Anderson from Milwaukee is actually making his first start coming off the injured list. Anderson's a sneaky guy. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. Actually a positive matchup today. So a sneaky play, maybe more of a GBP play. Don't sleep on these Marlins today, especially Brian Anderson. Kind of at the end, wrap it up, Bregman or Devers, or you want to go all the way down to Starlin Castro, really. Yeah, I had Josh Donaldson, but we got to cross him out because of the rain. So Bregman, Castro, or Devers is what I'm looking at. Shortstop. Have the same name, shortstop. Nobody will over 15%. So Semien's 15%, Bogart's 15%. Bogart should probably be more. FanDuel, though, we got Bogart's at 24% leading the race. I kind of like the sneaky play. I like Francisco Lindor today. I'm not saying I'm going to use him in cash. I haven't made a cash lineup yet. But I see Lindor as he hasn't been hitting, but he's in a good spot today against his Riley Smith, the righty. Lindor's batting second. Is hitting better. If you saw him play, I watched him hit that home run on Friday night. It looked like the world was lifted off his shoulders on Friday night. He hit that home run. So maybe that's what he needed. Still 4-9 though. He probably should be less than that the way he's hitting. But I have Lindor as a sneaky play. But overall, you can't dismiss what Bogarts is doing. He's had 3 more hits last night. Had another home run. He's a reverse splits hit. He's got 5 home runs now. So Bogarts is the play. he's still not going to get any ownership here, is people realize what Miguel Rojas is doing right now. Rojas is now on a 5-game hitting streak. During those 5 games, he's got 2 home runs. He's got 5 RBIs. He's the hottest hitter. He's the hottest hitting shortstop over the last 7 days in MLB. He's got a slash right now in those 5 days, 526, 571, and 1.105. That's a slash, which is ultra elite right now for Miguel Rojas. The only thing on Rojas is you're not going to get like a punt out of him, but he's leading off against Brett Anderson at 4-4. So if I'm not using Bogarts, probably in cash, I have no problem going Miguel Rojas. He's just totally crushing right now. You see, he had hits yesterday, Friday night 2 for 3, Thursday 2 for 4, Wednesday 2 for 3, Tuesday 3 for 6. He had a home run in there. He's had 4 or 5 ribbies in there. Miguel Rojas, and it's still, I guess it's gonna be a sneaky play, but nobody plays him. Is Freddie Galvis playing today? Yep. And then now you got Galvis and you got a righty going. Freddie Galvis is always a power threat at 3.5, and if Galvis should be 4K definitely against righty. Galvis smokes righties. He's obviously on a 9-game hitting streak, 2 homers in that streak. He got pulled last night, and I was usually doesn't get pulled for pinch hitter. I thought maybe something wrong with him, but he's in the lineup today. So Galvis is in play also. So actually, I'd be looking at Bogarts, Rojas, Freddie Galvis, and Lindor more as a kind of a sneaky GPP play. I guess I should say sneaky because he's a name, but somebody mentioned Charlie Culberson at third. Yeah, I don't mind Charlie Culberson. I've played Charlie Culberson a lot over the years. I could probably end up, what's Culberson's price? 3-4. The thing is, I mean, yeah, Sheffield's hittable. I would probably end up with Castro, though, just the way Castro's hitting. Culberson's the type of guy who's going to get you 1 or 2 hits. He'll get you 6-7 DK points. I mean, he's playable, but I would end up using Castro if I was going to use anybody as a value in cash. It's a good call, though. I mean, I've used Castro a lot over the years. Anybody I'm missing at shortstop? Bo Bichette, GPP play, definitely. And who else? Yeah, and Glaber's going to be popular at 4-7. Every now and then these Yankees will hit. Either the whole team hits or they don't hit. So you got Glaber batting cleanup, though, against Joe Ross. Yeah, I guess 4-7. I just can't get into using a lot of these Yankees because they're either boom or bust. Aaron Hicks on a bad spot, batting third. All right, anybody got any questions at shortstop? Marcus Semien. I mean, Semien, is he? I mean, he's looked at the ownership, but once again, we got like 4 or 5 guys all at the same ownership there, so nobody's like jumping at each other at shortstop. To me, Semien's I think it's GPP play, but he's looking at 15% right now. Xander Bogaerts, though, by far is the highest on FanDuel at 24. Rojas or Galvis GPP. Probably the way Rojas is hitting right now, Rojas, but I really like Galvis against righties. Galvis seems to hit a home run a lot against righties. With weather and wind blowing in, avoid a Boston. I still think Boston's one of the best stacks of the day. The wind's blowing out in Baltimore right now. You got wind blowing in Baltimore, wind's blowing out, and I mean in Baltimore and Camden. And the weather is not a problem, I don't think, right now. It's going to get, I think, better. The showers later on the day, so I wouldn't worry about the weather in Baltimore right now, what I'm seeing on Kevin Ross tweets. So, yeah, I mean, Rojas has got better, but anybody that plays Freddie Galvis knows Freddie Galvis is a righty bomb hitter. But Miguel Rojas is one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now. Okay, now we got going to the outfield. Juan Soto. If Juan Soto is under 5K, I would play him. He's under 5K. I rock Juan Soto. I also love Alvarez in the outfield. Over 7 days, another one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's got a 520 ISO, 628 WOBA, Plus, he's got 4 home runs. Both of them are steals under 5K. If you can get both of those guys in, I would play him. If not, you probably get to find some value somewhere. I know a lot of people are going to be looking toward Kyle Tucker today. I mean, he is an unlucky hitter right now, but still, he's not hitting the ball enough for me to play. But I think this is the type of game he could break out of it. So you're going to see him popular. Crush Davis is back. He actually got a hit at bat in last night for Texas. He's batting 5th. GP though, but if you're playing GPs, get Crush Davis in a lineup. Adolis Garcia, 7-game hit streak. He's a great value for Texas. And then Alex Verdugo got the platoon matchup against Kramer. Awesome spot. He's got 301, 362, 467 slash. Awesome spot for Alex Verdugo. There's no punts I really like. I like Frenchie Cordero, but probably more of a GPP play. So if you got I like Aaron Hicks in a 3rd spot. He's not bad. Like I said, somebody just mentioned Tucker. The problem is I'm to the point now, any of these guys hitting 170 on the season, if they ain't got hits in the last couple of games, I'm not touching these guys. I just don't consider these guys cash plays, even if they have a decent BABIP, if they're getting unlucky, of course. But Tucker's has got 1 hit in his last 5 games. He's got hits with 2 games in his last 6, 8, 9 games. 2 games where he's had a hit in 9 games. I can't play a guy like that. To me, he needs to be like 2.5. He's 3.3 still. But he's in a good spot. Also, we got Tio Hernandez, decent spot for Toronto. Said all these Boston outfielders, but you lock in Soto and Alvarez, and then find a value play and move on. So it's going to be tough. You're paying up for two decent pitchers today, but I think you can get away with it with a punting your catcher, with a guy like a Jansen or Pollocky. You can probably punt or value first base, like I said, the guy like Tellez, I said, or Marwin. Second base, you got these punts with Nicky Madrigal. Then you can pay up other spots. But you're paying for a DeGrom, Alcantara, Giolito here, unless you go down to a Kyle Hendricks. And to me, now you're starting to take some chances. Even the wind's blowing in 100 miles an hour in. It's still Kyle Hendricks. The more I'm looking at it, man, Aaron Hicks at 3.2. If I'm playing any Yankees, I liked Aaron Hicks at 3.2 against Ross. Probably going to be my favorite value. And I mean, he's hitting the ball. He's gotten, 3 hits Friday night, 2 hits Thursday night, hit Wednesday. So I kind of do like, if I'm looking at anybody for cash, it's probably going to be Aaron Hicks. I can see an outfield of Hicks, Soto, and Alvarez. $700 more if you have the money, though. I'd probably go Alex Verdugo, but just Boston's crushing the ball right now in a hitter's park. Another punt play, DJ Stewart for Baltimore at 2.6. I mean, he has these awesome platoon numbers, but I just got to. DJ Stewart just isn't hitting yet, and he's hitting cleanup today, huh? So he hasn't. What's he got? 1 homer this year. He had a home run, I think it was last week. Maybe he had a home run like 3 weeks ago too. So Stewart is in a decent spot. Okay, clean up against Pivetta. Stewart is in the major leagues because he hits righties. So I guess he would be in play also as a punt. All right, you guys have any other questions on? Oh, Steve, you meant Chicago and Boston. Yeah, I would not be playing too many bats in that Chicago-Pittsburgh game. So, I mean, I would be looking at Chris Bryant today if that wind was blowing out. But no, if anything, that's what makes Hendricks a decent play today, because wind's blowing in. With Kyle Hendricks, you're gonna get. He doesn't give up home runs. He goes deep into games, but that's all you're gonna get from him. You're not gonna get 9 strikeouts, and you're going to see probably as the last cheat sheet comes out, you're probably going to see Hendricks maybe even higher own more, because when everybody's playing DeGrom, they're going to want some bats in. And it's going to be tough to get DeGrom. It's going to be tough to spend like $20K on 2 pitchers. And remember, you got a guy like Kyle Hendricks who throws 40% of his pitches as a sinker. So he's going to go deep for you. He doesn't walk people, but the problem is, no, Hendricks does give up home runs, but with the wind blowing in, it is going to help him there. So, to me, it's still Kyle Hendricks. It's still Still a toss-up. He's got 27 strikeouts in 29 innings, only 9 walks. So I mean, he's not having a horrible year, but I mean, he was getting shit canned a couple right in the middle of the season there. So I guess one of them was against Milwaukee, I believe it was. Atlanta killed him. Atlanta killed him twice. So yeah, it's kind of risky though. Kyle Hendricks. Taylor, punt and cheat. You're talking about Taylor from Milwaukee. Uh, the the problem is there's so many value plays today. I mean, Taylor is batting third. If you're not pitching Alcantara, I guess at 2K, yeah, I guess you can say I guess you can say that. Um, you could definitely, yeah, I could see Taylor if you're not using Alcantara. 'Cause I'm really on Alcantara today. I just think Alcantara is a really good pitcher. But in that outfield, if you want to go deep, something like that, I mean, I would even take a chance on Frenchie Cardero today. Because Cardero's in a good spot. He's not hitting yet, but he's going to break out one of these days. So you got Taylor, DJ Stewart, and Frenchie. All those guys are down about the same price. And man, Hunter Renfro's price has dropped, huh? He's a big dude that he's boomer bust. He's going to hit a home run now. That's what he's turned into, though. All right. Any other questions here, guys? All right. So we got my top stacks today are like the Yankees. Red Sox are probably my favorite stack. And I like the White Sox as a sneaky stack today. Um, or Texas. Probably Texas. Yeah, Texas is actually, I think, can end up being probably my second favorite. That whole game, I may even stack that game. But I don't mind Texas today going against Sheffield, especially with Sheffield being a lefty. Get our Dolis Garcia in that lineup, get Nicky Solak in that lineup, and even if it's lefty versus lefty, I would probably get a Joey Gallo, get Crush Davis in there. So I would run like a Solak low, Garcia, Gallo, Davis. But you got to watch. I'm noticing 4 or 5 man stacks are not winning these GPPs anymore. We're going back to the old days. It seems like where a lot of one-offs, a lot of cash lineups winning GPPs. So yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of game. I'm not seeing a lot of game stacks. I'm not seeing a lot of like 3 and 3s and stuff winning. It's pretty much a lot of one-offs and decent pitching or low-owned pitching with guys getting 35 DK points. Price picks. Finish up a price picks here. Code YFC. I went through it quick. Miguel Rojas, who's on fire right now. Rojas is 6/660. Jordan Alvarez, I see as over 7.5. Because he's just totally crushing the ball right now. He's in play. It's pretty tight today. I wouldn't be using these Cubs with the wind. Maybe that's all I see for batters. Those two pitchers. Pavetta. Let me look at strikeouts for single stats. Pavetta 5.5. I could see taking Pavetta over 5.5. I would take DeGrom over 9.5 because he'll get double digit strikeouts every game. DeGrom over 9.5, Alcantara over 6, and I can take Pavetta over 5.5. That'd be my singles for price picks. All right, guys. Any other questions? Okay, good luck today. We have block in like 15, 20 minutes, so we have plenty of time here. I still got to build my lineup, but I will be I just got a note that they updated the cheat sheet. But actually, let me look at this before we go off on this cheat sheet really quick to make sure that we're not. So pitching right now is still looking at DeGrom. DeGrom even is now still only 39% on FanDuel. Wow. So if you're playing FanDuel, you play DeGrom in all your lineups. Pretty much the same. Marlins high at first. Second. Sanchez. Third base. Bregman still higher. He's in play. Shortstop. Bogarts has now jumped ahead. And the outfield. Alvarez, Hicks, and Soto. That's probably going to be my 3 outfielders. Alvarez, Hicks, and Soto. If I don't use Hicks, I'm probably going to try to get to Alex Vertigo. And we good. All right, guys. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Same thing. And that is it. Thank you. Good luck today.